So I wanted to take some time to look at a sample personal statement. This sample personal statement is available on Purdue OWL website. There's a link here, and I will load the document so you can download it. So this is a sample personal statement. Discussion of this sample personal statement is subject to fair use. So uh, I just want to begin reading it and then also giving you some analysis of it. My interest in science dates back to my years in high school, where I excelled in physics, chemistry, and math. When I was a senior, I took a first year calculus course at a local college. Such an advanced level class was not available in high school and earned an A. It seemed only logical that I pursue a career in electrical engineering. So, that very last sentence is really his thesis because he hasn't really come to a logical conclusion that electrical engineering is the right field for him until he actually explores it throughout the rest of the personal statement. But just setting the tone for what he will discuss, and how taking certain types of courses and completing those types of courses that are not traditionally available to students in high school, and then also earning an A, sets him apart already in the beginning. So that's his thesis. When I began my undergraduate career, I had the opportunity to be exposed to the full range of engineering courses, all of which tended to reinforce and solidify my intense interest in engineering. I've also had the opportunity to study a number of subjects in the humanities, and they have been both enjoyable and enlightening, providing me with a new and different perspective on the world in which we live. It's important that he notes that he completed humanities courses. Why is that important? Because employers do want you to have the technical knowledge of a particular field, but also have a balanced understanding of what responsibilities you are having to do in that field. And engineering, even if you are spending a lot of times in the engineering lab or any other place where you are applying technical knowledge, you still need to be able to communicate that information through written word, meaning that you are writing reports, you are writing presentations, you are giving presentations. And so taking some time to learn how to write, how to communicate, by taking an English course, humanities courses, anything like that that requires you to communicate your ideas and propose your ideas is very important. So he's calling attention to the fact that has he is aware that he is supposed to have a balanced education. In the realm of engineering, I have developed a special interest in the field of laser technology and have even been taking a graduate course in quantum electronics. Among the 25 or so students in the course, I am the sole undergraduate. Another particular interest of mine is electromagnetics. And last summer, when I was a technical assistant at a world famous local lab, I learned about its many practical applications, especially in relation to microstrip and antenna design. Management at this lab was sufficiently impressed with my work to ask that I return when I graduate. Of course, my plans following completion of my current studies are to move directly into graduate work toward my master's in science. After I earn my master's degree, I tend to work on my PhD in electrical engineering. Later, I would like to work in the area of research and development for private industry. It is in R&D that I believe I can make the greatest contribution, utilizing my theoretical background and creativity as a scientist. Do make note that he started from the main major of electrical engineering. And now he's getting into specifics. So within the realm of engineering, his special interest is in the field of laser technology. And then also another interest of his is electromagnetics, where he worked for a world famous lab. And then he spent many times practicing in practicum in relation to microstrip and antenna design. It's also noteworthy when you are wondering what makes you unique. What special interest would the admissions committee be concerned about? A graduate course in quantum electronics is a very unique quality, especially if you get an A, because you are an undergraduate, and most you're typically not required are not permitted to take a graduate course while you are an undergraduate student. You usually have to finish your undergraduate studies, which lead all the way up to the bachelor's degree, before you can even consider taking a graduate course. So that lets you know that his grades and his test scores are so high, and his emotional wherewithal is pretty good, that he is able to take this type of course and be set apart as an applicant. It's also very important that he did a lot of research into his field. So he might have visited Bureau of Labor Statistics to understand his field, or he just might have stayed on the education page. So he understands that for his field, if he wants to work in research, he's going to need a master's of science. He also understands that if he wants to work in research development for a private industry, he's going to need a PhD in electrical engineering. And so that tells you that he had the foresight to research the field, so that when he graduates with a bachelor's of science, he understands that he needs the graduate work in order to work in R&D. R&D is research and development. So that gives you, this whole paragraph that you see here gives you insight into how he has foresight about what it is that is required of him in his field, how far he wants to go, and what industry he wants to work for. If he was working for government industry, he would likely have to do maybe a second master's or a master's degree in public administration, an MPA, I think. But if he wants to work for private industry, this gives him a lot more time to focus on his projects. There's more grant money, donor money. There's a timetable, but it's not as hazard as it would be if he was working for the government. He can spend a lot more time. And then the last paragraph: I am highly aware of the superb reputation of your school, and my conversations with several of your alumni have served to deepen my interest in attending. I know that in addition to your excellent faculty, your computer facilities are among the best in the state. I hope you will give me the privilege of continuing my studies at your fine institution. So this tells you that, again, he has done the research not only beyond the intended career aspect, the educational aspect, but he is tailoring his application to this particular institution. And that means that he has to know about the institution's resources and how they apply to him, and preparation for the major. I mean, for the major as well as for the intended career objective, which is to become an electrical engineer in the private industry. He's going to need the right type of computer facilities. He's going to need the right type of lab, especially if he has a special interest in electromagnetics, microstrip antenna design, uh, uh, working in research and development for the private industry. These are particular concepts that are specific to his field, and where he wants to take himself. So keep these ideals in mind as you go through the sample personal statement. There is an example of a statement number 2 that is more geared towards arts and humanities. But it seems like a lot of times my students are either, their intended career objective is to become a registered nurse or electrical engineer or one of those majors. So I just decided to use this one here. So this is an example of a successful personal statement, where the student begins with a clear thesis statement, and everything after that thesis statement about pursuing a career in electrical engineer goes to support exactly what his career intentions are. So this is a sample personal statement.